Today, I'm going to talk about how I collect Roberto Clemente. 12-time Gold Glover, 15 All-Star appearances. What else? World Series MVP, 4 batting titles, 2-time World Series champ, 3,000 hits, 317 batting, lifetime batting average. We know the accolades, but the reason I collect him is because he's just, when it comes to Latinos, Hispanic culture, Puerto Ricans, humanitarians, he's just a legend. And ever since I was a young kid hearing the stories, I was infatuated and wanted to start collecting them. So, and he was my first dive into vintage as a kid. I'm 40 years old, so the junk wax era is what I grew up in. And I want to say the first Clemente cards I technically had were like the turn back the clocks. I think those were like 87. And my first vintage card was 1973, which I've explained the story. My mother got it for me for Christmas. I want to say I was in 6th grade. I'm going to New York, and I ripped it open, and it was all she wrote after that. But the reason I'm diving into this Clemente, episode is because my man Magnus wanted to do a VR, and he wanted us to explain how we collect through vintage, junk wax, modern, and ultra modern. And I'll probably take that a little step further because anything Clemente I collect, as far as baubles, figures, posters, magazines, books, sketches, anything with Clemente, his likeness, anything like that, I'm into. So, yeah, let's get into it. Let's do it right now. So, let's just get the vintage out the way. Let's do the good stuff. And then I could get into more in depth with all the other intricacies of my collection. So I've done this before. I'll be real quick. Now last year I did do a Clemente showcase, but when I did that Clemente showcase, I did not have the beautiful 55 Clemente, and now I do. So that was the highlight of last year for me. Thanks to Sean Tiford again. But here's the run. Love the 71, one of my favorites. Decent grade too. Got that a long time ago. And as you can see, anything oddball, like the Dell Stamps, the Daily Juice, I collect those, the Milton Bradleys. Love those. Now, those are my vintage. Got some vintage oddball inserts and food issues. Now, as you can see, I also have relic cards. These are from the early 2000s, which I would consider modern cards. And those are super new, which would probably be considered ultra modern. But those are more like the manufactured relics. This, I guess technically would be a manufactured relic, is a ruby. And I believe that's low numbered to like 20. Like I said, I collect anything. Stamps. There's McFarlane, which I love. That's a game piece from 1990, I want to say. This is an LP of his last, I want to say, interview. Minty in the still shrink wrap. This was a regional card given out by a local radio station. This was an all-star exclusive, only 3,000 made. And I like all my figures in boxes if I can help it. If they're out of the box, it's typically because the box is pretty much roached out or damaged. Here's a poster that was given to me by Blue Jacket. This was a insert poster from Topps in '68, and I love it. All right, let's take it back to the desk. All right, I know I said I was gonna go to the desk, but I had to get these out of storage because I'm pretty sure I haven't shown these before. If I have, it was a while back. But here's Pittsburgh Brewing poster. I want to say it's from '93, and I just don't know where I want to put it. The space is so limited in the man cave. This was done by a local artist. I bought this maybe 20 years ago. He asked me what I wanted. I said, of course, Clemente. He hooked me up. I think it was like 30, 40 bucks. Super happy with it. And I'm pretty sure I've shown this in my original Clemente video. There's a Tough Stuff edition with the legend himself. I used to collect Tough Stuff when I was a kid, only because I had all 4 major sports in there. And I've always kept this magazine and found a frame to make it fit. All right, well, let's see what's next. All right, as you can see in my background, I usually have Downfield Dreams hooked me up with this beautiful stand. I love it. Showcase any pickups I have, but it has the legend himself. I want to say that was the image as it hit 3,000, and I'm so happy he picked this image. It's one of my favorites. Thank you. Here's a bobblehead celebrating his 12 gold gloves. Reason, like I said before, that's out of the box because the box, even though I was looking for a figure with the box, I got it at a real reasonable price, but the box was just horrible. So I'm happy to have the box, but I like to enjoy my collection, and I can enjoy it better by actually seeing it. So I took it out the box, and he's there on the desk with all my videos. Now this I just picked up recently. It's a bust of Clemente, and I've been wanting this for a little bit, and I finally got it. I think it was a giveaway. Pretty sure it was. Got this in Vegas about 20 years ago. Just always wanted it. Haven't seen one really since, and I'm glad I have it. Nice little cutout stand. And here's the Wheaties. You know, still sealed. I was thinking about emptying it, but I haven't had issues with it before. So I'm just gonna leave it as is. I'm looking for the Kellogg's. Every time I find the Kellogg's, it's flattened, opened, or the box is just messed up beyond something that I'm acceptable of having in my collection. You know, this has a little bit of damage, but I'm okay with it. It's a little dinged up, but that's acceptable. Now, I got a couple magazines aside from the Tough Stuff. I got this from my boy Jake T. Triple Crown. Hooked me up with this SMR of Clemente. Love it. Minty, minty. And this one is from '73. I'm not sure if I've shown this one on my channel, but this is of the summer of '73. And I love it, especially because of all the greats on here. Look at on here. Sandy, Joe, Mickey, Hammer and Hank. So, Splendid Splinter, The Babe, and of course, my man Clemente. So, yeah, 75 cents. I mean, can you believe it? I wish the prices were like that now. Now, this is one I know that's never been on here because I keep it in the box, but I figured I'd bust it out. My brother got me this for one of my birthdays years ago. It's I want to say it's a 2000 Salvino, and I love it. I think they only made 10,000 of these, and I figured I'd bust it out. I might have it out here on occasion, but I've been meaning to buy a glass tower to display a lot of my items, and I wanted to put that in there because it is very fragile, and I got 3 kids. I don't like leaving it out unprotected. So you know what, let me get some more things. I'll be right back. Sure, I even have beer, thanks to my boy Rue Dog. Here's some Topps Giants. Here's a raw one, which, you know, honestly is available for trade. If you have a Clemente I do not have. I really want to get into the food issues. Like I said, Blue Jacket has been a pretty good influence in that avenue. You know, any of the Posts, Jellos, Kellogg's, cons especially. I want to get into getting some of those cons. That is available for trading because I have one already graded in a 7. So if you want the raw one, I'm down to trade. Here is the 71 Topps Super. I am looking for the 70 or the 69. And this I got from my boy Throwback King, Albert. And this is number 10, which is super sick. And this just goes into my vintage, my modern, ultra modern type collecting for Roberto Clemente. Now, here's some baubles, little hand painted joint. A lot of these were stadium giveaways, but they're starting to get some age to them. You don't think about it, but you know, this is 20 years old. It still looks pretty good. That's what gets me excited. Here's a super new one. Saw this, had to jump on it. Real dope. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Hopefully I'll be hitting Cooperstown soon. I haven't been since I was a kid. And even though I remember that day, I was a young kid. I went with my grandfather and my pops. I don't think I really appreciated it like I would now. Because I was a kid and here I am at 40 years old. I've only been one time, and I think if I go now, it would just be a whole other type of experience. This is my favorite bauble. It's my first one that I ever bought Clemente. Bought this in Vegas, almost 20 years ago. Shoot, no, almost 20 years ago, I want to say. So, I just love this one. Tough to get to, especially in the box, minty. Now, here's one of my favorite items. It's a little different. It's from Flair, which I love because, you know, it's a trading card company. And I don't know what the significance is. If someone knows, please comment below. 2240. You would think it'd be 3,000. I don't know. I don't know why they picked that number, but there's only 2,200 of these, 2,240. I love it. Yeah. Not easy to find. Every once in a while you see these pop up on eBay for like 50 to 80. But I love it. It's mine. It's still in the box. Now I do have coins. I don't really know too much about these. My father got these for me a while back. They're commemorative, but I love them. Got the image of Clemente, the man. And super, super minty. Love the cases they come in. It's 50-cent piece. And then of course, you know, I've been putting these on Instagram and everything. I love these Salada coins. I want to get the orange one now and the black. But love them. All right, we're gonna go. Here's one more poster. Here's a 70s poster of the man. I'm in the process of trying to get the 67. The 71 would be awesome, but that's a tough one to get, and they're not cheap. But yeah, I love that. All right, so now we got that out the way. Then we get situated. Now, the last time I did my Clemente showcase, I did not have this album, but I felt like this is the best way I can enjoy my modern cards, my junk wax cards. Here's a little SP action. This is a original post Clemente, but I did upgrade it, so now it's regulated back to the album. And here's some more coins of Clemente. And what I did was I got the tobacco sleeve inserts, and they worked pretty well. So I get the inserts, put the coins in the insert, and then I put the insert in the sleeve. And I can enjoy the coins like that. They're not banging around, but I would like to upgrade these as well. Here's some of the newer Clementes. These are all repeats, or, you know, they're just beat up, but these are all doubles. And I think I can still enjoy them in my album. But here's the junk wax. And then modern. And I think this is what my man Magnus wanted. He wanted to see how you collect in all the eras of collecting. And I think I showed that with my vintage, my modern, ultra modern, and my junk wax. Because the junk wax was up here. That's pretty much all I have for junk wax. And I love the Clemente, the Kmart edition. But yeah, that's how I do it. This was from, I want to say the Clemente Museum or Cooperstown Collection. I got that as a gift. It's a replica, but it's still pretty tight. And I think it has some age to it. You know, it's a replica. I think 94. Yep, 94 classic collectible. And then I got this food issue, which was given to me. I want to say Wade Boggs fan in a care package. Love it. Those are individual puzzle pieces. That's why I didn't put it in the album. And then that's an X Fractor, which is super dope. I might have to display that. And this is, I think a national. It was at one of the nationals, and there was only like 500 of them. And that was too good of a price to pass up. So that's what we have. Hold tight. And I'm back. So I hope you enjoy that. You know, just a little insight into my collection. The way I'm going to end it is Magnus wanted us to also explain how our collection is going, where it's going, and what are some dream items you would love to have in your collection. And for me, that's very simple, super easy. 1968 Topps Test Issue 3D Roberto Clemente. They weren't regularly circulated, they weren't available, making it super rare. And that's what I want. I also want some kind of cut auto of Clemente. You know, he died very young. I want to say he was 38. And most of his autos are from contracts, checks, postcards, letters, you know, obvious things. He didn't sign too much. And I think that's attainable. You know, it's not cheap, but it's attainable. So those are two items I would love to have. A cut auto, autograph of some kind of Clemente, and that 68 Topps 3D. Now, while I see my collection going with Clemente, I'm going to continue to collect the modern stuff, the SPs. That's, I think, obvious. But as far as vintage, there are some vintage cards I would like, but they're more of the food related issue cards. And that's a big influence from Blue Jacket, Dave. And I love his channel. If you don't know his channel, you need to watch it. Blue Jacket42, Dave. Look him up. I might have a link in the description below, if I remember. But he explains that the cons are super sensitive, condition sensitive, because they actually put the card on the actual food product, on the meat, on the hot dogs. And that's why a lot of them are stained, paper loss, creased up, because they were on the actual item itself. So I always found that very fascinating. But in doing so, you also realize how expensive they are, because they're anything in decent condition. Decent is hella expensive. So it's just something to shoot for, something else to watch, something else to collect. And that's it. So Magnus, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope all my fellow Clemente people enjoy the video. And with that, peace out. Go Yankees. Well, this is go Clemente.